So the Arizona Cardinals. So the Arizona Cardinals are stuck in a weird predicament that they gave to themselves, where they could have tanked, traded Kyler, started the clock over. They decided not to do that, so they picked the Kyler Murray route. They were in almost every game last year. They were in every game last year. They just didn't win it because they didn't have the talent. And now they didn't have the quarterback play at the time, whether it's Kyler Murray was in there or not. So if I say anything about Arizona Cardinals, it's just, to me, building from last year, because you don't really have, to me, the option to not build from last year, especially when you're playing Kyler Murray all that money. So, hey, this is Keith. This is Black Quarterback Series, and today we're doing something a little different as preseason gets started. Since I absolutely whiffed the offseason because life, and things like that happened, I wasn't able to get my offseason stuff out to you guys the way I wanted to. And so we're just going to start here. We're just going to start with this season. We're doing 32 teams in 32 minutes. It's probably going to be split up into 2 videos because I'm not editing a 32-minute video on my phone. I probably can't even record that long. So that was my minute for Arizona. Let's get into the Falcons. Oof, I might need more than a minute for the Falcons. So the Falcons. Just bad decision after bad decision. Why draft Michael Penix Jr. when you already have Kirk Cousins? And you paid Kirk Cousins a lot of money and then drafted an older quarterback. If you was going to draft the quarterback anyway, why not trade that for picks? Because you could have got a boatload of picks for that. So it's just going to come down to their quarterback position. Kyle Pitts is wasting away there. And they're a good team. Well, I guess by NFC South standards. They're a good team, and they could win. They could literally probably win this division at 7-9. So they need to win. They need to win. Their quarterback situation is definitely something you need to be worried about if I'm an Atlanta Falcons fan. Baltimore Ravens. You lost a lot in the offseason. Nobody really believes in you. Lamar Jackson has turned into the LeBron James of the NFL, where if you say his names, you get thousands of clicks. I know personally, as my notebook keeps falling. I know that personally because I do it sometimes, but it's in a positive light. So once again, you got to prove your doubters. You got to prove your doubters wrong. John Harbaugh needs to be talked more about being in a hot seat, because what he's doing and that coaching staff is doing is just not right. So just keep going. Just keep doing what you're going. Develop. You might have to make a swing at a big-time receiver that might be disgruntled. Make the move. The Bills do. Is Josh Allen the guy? Yes. Is he going to lead you to the promised land? Maybe. But you don't have a number one receiver. You blame coaches for Josh ineptitude last year. And your overall team has gotten worse this year. Injured. Von Miller is hurting. He's getting nothing but older. So it's like Josh Allen is going to have to be like otherworldly. He's going to have to be like the guy we talk about later on in this video or next video. Or he's going to have to take the majority of offensive load like he's already doing. But he's just going to have to be more efficient, and I don't think he can do that. Panthers, protect your assets. Protect your assets. You have to protect your assets. Bryce Young hasn't got hurt as much as he could yet. But if you keep doing this, he's going to be hurt. And he's going to waste away. I know. St. Louis Ram fan. I saw Mark Bolger be tops of the league in a league with Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Phillip Rivers for years. But he couldn't do anything because we couldn't protect him here in St. Louis. And he wasted away. I don't want that for Bryce Young. I do not want that for Bryce Young. Protecting Bryce Young should be your number one priority this season, next season, and the season after next. Because you're probably going to be terrible for a while. The Bears, the opposite. You have a new era. It's time to start winning football games. You blamed Justin Fields, for y'all being terrible. Justin Fields wasn't the best either. Justin Fields is not in the building anymore. It's you guys' time to look young, and you guys need to be Oklahoma City Thunder in the NBA. That's what you have to be. You don't have to be number one in the NFL, but you have to show those strides of being a future tops of the league, fighting with Jared Goff and them boys for NFC supremacy. That's what you need. That's what as a Bears fan I would expect, and that's what you guys need to be. The Bengals, health and contract concerns. There is no reason in the world Jamar Chase should not have a contract right now. He's the top 2 receiver in the NFL right now. And when are we gonna start? I love me some Burrow. I love Burrow. He's Tom Brady. I love Burrow. But at what point are we going to be honest about Joe Burrow and his injury concerns? You can run it through the Lamar Jackson simulator. If he has had these injuries, and we said, is he worth the money? We shouldn't pay him, blah, 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 all that stuff. But not with Jared Goff, but with Burrow, we're not saying that. So he's injury prone. We got to call it for what it is. Pay Jamar Chase. At the end of the day, the Bengals, you have to pay your guys. And you have to protect your greatest asset that you paid. Browns. I'm a Deshaun Watson fan. I got his first jersey, the 100. If I put a screenshot of it, with the 100th anniversary emblem, and I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be a Hall of Fame jersey. It's gonna be worth something. It's looking like that jersey's gonna be worth something, but it's only gonna be worth something because of the emblem. Because I think Deshaun Watson is done, and we might stop covering Deshaun. That hurts, but if Deshaun is not gonna show strides and he's always gonna be hurt, there's no reason to cover him until he shows anything, really. I've defended him as long as I can, even when he's going through what he's going through. But this is football. These are football issues now. These are not outside of football issues, to speak about it kindly. These are not outside football issues. So it predicated on what's Deshaun going to do, and are the Cleveland Browns finally going to put something together to where they're legitimate threats? Because they have all the pieces there, but those pieces are going to get expensive and old, and they are getting old right now. You can't keep wasting away Myles Garrett like this. Dallas, same thing pretty much, but it's almost the reverse. If you're Dallas, who are you paying? Are you going to pay Dak? You're going to pay Parsons? You're going to pay CD? You're going to rebuild that line? Like, who are you going to pay? Because you're not firing your coach. That boat is sailed for me. Dallas will not fire their coach as long as he's a puppet of Jerry Jones. We need to realize that, and we need to just accept that for what it is. So they're not firing their coach again. And if they do, it's just going to be another puppet of Jerry Jones. So until Jerry Jones passes away, they will never get a Bill Parcells again. So who are you going to pay? Because I don't think I would pay Dak. I might trade Dak in the middle of the season. I know that's not an NFL thing, but see what Dak is worth on the market. Let him play a few games. Just pray he doesn't get hurt. And then you trade him for first. I honestly think you could get 2 first-round picks for Dak Prescott. Especially from a team like the Raiders who need like stability. So I don't know. I think the Raiders would love to have Dak. And I think I made a video about that where I think Dak would be perfect for the Raiders. So, and I love Antonio Pierce. We'll get to the Raiders later. But yeah. Who you gonna pay? Denver. Trainwreck. They're gonna have a terrible season. I don't know nothing about Bo Nix. I didn't get a chance to review him. I think I talked passingly about him. I'm not a huge fan of Sean Payton. I think he backdoored Russell Wilson, and I think they're gonna be just as much of a train wreck. And they're not gonna blame Sean Payton again. They're gonna blame a rookie quarterback. So I'm not even gonna give that team more breath. The Lions. You should have been in the Super Bowl. It should have been Baltimore and Detroit. NFL probably won't let that happen, but should have been that. That would have been a really good Super Bowl. But you made some bad coaching decisions in the NFC Championship game, and the refs kind of stiffed you also. So you paid your receiver. Amon-Ra. I watched his Pivot podcast. He's a really good brother. Building. It just comes down to building. That's all it is with Detroit. I think they'll be really good next year. They'll be fighting with the Lions or with Green Bay for that division. And I look forward to seeing what Detroit is going to be moving forward. Speaking of that division, Green Bay. Is love real or not? That's really all I have to add to them. Is love real or is it not real? That's pretty much it for them. The Texans. The Texans are ahead of schedule. Like 2-3 years ahead of schedule. So I don't want to put all this pressure on them to win right now because they're really ahead of schedule. So, but I do want to see CJ continue that arc. I don't know if he'll be better than Lamar Jackson. It's some crazy stuff. I heard he's already better than Lamar Jackson. They're different players. So, but until CJ wins 2 MVPs and the NFC title, and the NFC berth, you can't say he's better than anybody. So, CJ just needs to take more steps. Tank Dell, take more steps. They need to get healthy. Defense improve. D'Amico got that covered. So, yeah. They're ahead of schedule. That they just need to keep progressing. They're going to be really, really dangerous this year. Shout out to Trey Sold. That's actually who's in the background. I was watching stream. He's a huge Houston Texans fan. He thinks they're going to go 10-7. To me, I would go 10-7, but that's predicated off what Anthony Richardson does. If he's actually good or he's not good. They're in the AFC, so it's a bloodbath. You could be 10-7 and not even make the playoffs. So it's going to see. But they're ahead of schedule, but they just need to keep doing this, going up. Colts. We're blowing through these. It might not even be 30 minutes. Colts. I don't know. Like I just said, Anthony Richardson, is he going to be the answer? Frank Wright is known for developing quarterbacks. He looked real good until he got hurt. So I'm going to expect that stays, but I don't know. I haven't even seen Richardson working out this summer. So I don't know. He's been rehabbing the shoulder, but I haven't even seen anything or read any reports. It just never hit my desk. So it's predicated on what Richardson does. That's pretty much all the Colts really have. It's predicated off what Richardson does. Jacksonville, I think they're overrated. And I think everybody's realizing that they're overrated. Not saying Trey Lance is or not Trevor Lawrence is overrated, but I think them as a team is overrated. They didn't pay Calvin Ridley, and now Calvin Ridley is gone. So do we really have a number one receiver now? They're in the same division as the Colts and the Texans. It's going to be weird. I could see them being a very disappointing team again and their coach losing their job. And it's not really on him. So, because we're in what? I think we're in year 3 or 4 of the Trevor Lawrence experience, and it's not panned out the way the Jacksonville Jaguars thought it would pan out. So, yeah. And so, Kansas City, I think this is the last division. Well, we got a few more. So, Kansas City, they're the Patriots. They're the Patriots. There's nothing really I could say because you got the greatest, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever do it on your roster, and you can really do anything. If Hollywood Brown if Hollywood Brown is a Pro Bowler, that is an indictment on the Ravens. It really is an indictment on the Ravens because you should have kept him. You've been trying to find a replacement for Hollywood since Hollywood left, and you shouldn't have traded him. I don't remember what I was saying at the time, but that's just the way I feel right now. And now I know Hollywood irks us and blah, 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 but him with one of the GOATs, and he just won a Super Bowl with that cast of characters, it's like, it's going to be rough. Vegas. Tank for Sanders. Their quarterback situation is terrible. But they ended up winning and staying in a few games, so that might just be how they win. But I don't really expect anything from them. Honestly. But I do love Antonio Pierce. He looks like a great motivator. He looks like he's going to be a great young coach by NFL standards. Great young coach by NFL standards. I think he's like 40 something. But I want to see them be successful, but they're in the same division as the Chargers, as KC. Like, as much as I give Denver shit, they're still gonna probably be compatible. I don't even know what that is. Competitive. They're gonna be competitive in that division. So, tank for Sanders. So Chargers, new day. The Harbaugh. I get the names mixed up. John Harbaugh is their coach, and they have Justin Herbert. If John Harbaugh can't pull out whatever's in Herbert, nobody's going to be able to pull it out. And we're going to have to call him for it. He's an average quarterback. So he's an NFL starter, but he's going to be an average quarterback. So the LA Rams, I don't know and I don't care. I'm going to be frank with y'all. I don't know and I don't care. If you know where I stay, you know why I feel that way. Miami. So, hey, what's going on, guys? So it's Future Keys as I'm editing. And so I just looked up. Tua has signed a deal. A 4-year, I think it's 4-year, 214 or 241. He'll be up on the screen. So everything I said in this coming up segment is what I believe in and everything. I think that they're hitching their wagon on Tua and banking that he's be healthy. And Mike McDonald believes, or McDaniels believes, one of the Mikes believes that he's that guy. I think we all know there's a clear ceiling to this team with him as the quarterback, but Miami doesn't feel that way. Miami had an absolutely great season last year by their standards. They put up 70 points with Tua as they start the quarterback. So it's a lot of money for Tua. I don't know if I would have paid it, but you're kind of stuck in that Dak Prescott situation, like I've said before, where you damned you do, damned you don't. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Miami has and if this contract hamstrings them for anything they need to go moving forward. But other than that part of my Miami topic, I still believe everything I said. Hey, thanks for watching that video. Part 2 will be out probably sometime later on in the week, probably closer to the end of the week. But be on the lookout for part 2 of my 32 quarterbacks or 32 teams in 32 minutes. Stay tuned for part 2 of my 32 quarterbacks in 32 minutes video. It should be out at some point later on the week, probably Thursday, Friday. And we'll get that out to you. If your favorite team wasn't in the first video, it'll definitely be in the second video. So until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. See you later on in the week.